All right, guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's great to be with everyone here today. Welcome to Webinar Wednesday, where we like to share tips to grow your online community. If you're joining us here today, you're serious about your website and improving your skills to grow your community. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. It's great to be with you here today. I'm Jason there on the left, and we're lucky to be joined today. Today we have Rick and David. Rick is one of the support specialists here at Brilliant Directories, and David is actually a digital strategist here at Brilliant Directories, and also very instrumental in helping us arrange these webinars and getting them the replays online to you guys. So Rick and David, thank you guys so much for joining us for Webinar Wednesday.
Hello, Jason. Happy to be here as usual.
Hey, everyone. Looking forward to today's webinar.
Great. And Rick, while we're here, I know you work in the support department, working with the team there. If maybe you want to share a little bit of some of the goals we have in the support department with how we want to help our customers and some things that are good reasons to reach out to support to get assistance with.
Of course. So yes, I'm very happy to be a part of the support team here at Brilliant Directories. I've been a part of the support team for a few years now. The company has evolved quite a bit, and it's been very exciting to be a part of this. Like Jason was saying, there are certain things that we have learned throughout these years, things like related to what constitutes like a good reason to reach out to support, or even how to reach out to support. Let's start by saying that if you do have a question about how things work, most likely it's already an article or there's already a solution in our support center for that specific area. So we've done great strides in order to ensure that each section of the platform has its related documentation. So that will be like the first place where you can start to search for some of those answers that you may have some questions for. The solution center, definitely first place to start. So when you're putting the ticket together, a few things and a few recommendations. If you can always include a screenshot, that'll be great. It helps out quite a bit. If you can include a link to the area that you're having issues with, that also works really, really great. Start to explain like what the issue is. That's always a good place to start from. Then searching through the documentation and then letting us know, again, including a screenshot or a link. That really goes a long way. It avoids the back and forth. And just to I know that I talked a little bit too much, but one thing that I do want to recap and I want to make very, very clear to everyone is that we're here to help, right? Our main incentive and our main idea is to help you guys out because we want to see everyone's website grow, everyone's communities grow as well. So that's what we're here for. Jason.
I want to just say that seeing how the support department has evolved over the last few years and your leadership there, Rick, is really great. And yeah, our main intention there is to help you guys manage your website smoothly and to troubleshoot any issues that you might have. So thank you, Rick, for all the effort you've put into there.
Of course.
All right, and I just wanted to mention this one again. We mentioned in the previous webinar, Patrick's not with us in this webinar. He was a special guest in the previous webinar, but he does have a master class coming up from the Directory Gurus, and you can pre-register. It's a class on how to really see how other Brilliant Directories customers have literally made 7-figure incomes and generated revenue using Brilliant Directories, and they're going to show you step-by-step exactly what those companies did. They're going to pull the curtain back and really show you their strategies and even what their staff does on a daily basis, what they started with and where they are now. It sounds like it's going to be a really meaningful and valuable course. So if you'd like to register, you can go to www.directorygurus.com and there's a pre-registration form there if you'd like to sign up for this course by the Directory Gurus. And I always like to mention, I'm going to assume most everyone here is already part of our Facebook group, but if you're not, it's a great place to continue the conversation in between Webinar Wednesdays. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook and go ahead and click on the blue join button. You'll be accepted to the group. And if you have any questions in between webinars or like to see how other people are using their Brilliant Directories websites, it's a great place to collaborate with fellow directory website owners. So again, go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook, and we look forward to seeing you there. And if this is your first time joining Webinar Wednesday, welcome. As we've mentioned, we'd like to share and talk about strategies to help your community grow, helping you market your site, generate more revenue with your site, nurture your community a lot better. So we like to talk about topics such as converting visitors into actual registered members on your site, how to increase your website traffic, identifying revenue opportunities. We even talked about email marketing in the previous webinar. It was really nice how to customize email templates to have a better relationship and connect better with your members. So if you have any questions about how to grow your online community, please say them. We'll get to them in just a short bit. And we always wanted to keep this slide in Webinar Wednesdays. This was part of a tip of the week we had several webinars ago. But the theme is we don't want you to get stuck on the hamster wheel. Your community, your website is a business, it's an organization. And there's times when you need to work on the website, there's times when you need to work on marketing, there's times when you have to work on outreach to members. You want to make sure you don't get stuck in one of these steps. You always want to be cycling through these steps every few weeks. That's going to ensure that you're making traction and that all facets of your website and your community are growing over time. I do see a lot of people get stuck in step 3, the designing part of the website. I've seen them design their website for years and they just never release it to the market, so they're basically just designing for themselves. But if you can make a habit and a routine of cycling through these steps, you're almost going to guarantee at least some success with your site, because you're simply going to be making progress moving forward rather than being stuck in the same place. All right, let's dive into some fun topics today. We have a few Brilliant Directories lab updates. There's actually tons of updates being pushed always behind the scenes. Here are a few that I wanted to share with you today in Webinar Wednesday. The first one, it's not really an update to the software. It's more of an announcement. David, I want to give you a big shout out and a thank you. They're not live yet, but they're going live. Can you tell us a little bit about these videos, 20 plus videos that are going to be available through our YouTube channel and our blog coming up next week? You can see here they're all labeled as private, but there's all these videos here. Can you tell us a little bit about what these videos are, David?
Yeah, so we've always uploaded the webinars in full to our YouTube channel and then posted them on our blog and on our website. What we've done recently is we went from, I think, webinar 36 all the way through the newest webinars. We took out the parts of them that we thought would be the most helpful. So the tips of the week, the Rick's Corners, the website showcases, and we've made them into their own videos, uploaded them. And once we get all the titles, descriptions, and everything sorted out, we'll go ahead and set them as public. So that'll make it a lot easier for anyone to really see how to do certain things that we show in our webinars. Right now, it's pretty easy to do that. If you go to our blog, you can easily search a keyword and you'll be presented with webinars with relevant information that we covered. But this is a little bit easier of a way to see specifically only the website showcases or the tips of the week. So this should be really helpful for a lot of people out there.
Awesome, David. Thanks for taking the time to put all that together. So you're just pending final edits and adding the proper titles to each of these videos, it seems.
Yep. And once that's done, they'll all be set to public.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks so much. I know I'm excited to see these, and I know a lot of people are excited to get their hands on these videos. I see some of them are just, like 11 minutes long or 9 minutes long, 5 minutes long. So these will be nice, digestible pieces of information here rather than going through the long webinars, which can sometimes be up to 2 hours long.
Yeah, for new users, people who are kind of just getting the ball rolling with their site, I think the website showcases might be the most helpful, they'll all be set in their own playlists. So it'll be real easy to go through all of the website showcases that we've done with previous Brilliant Directories websites, what tips we've given those website owners, covering what elements of their website that they've done really well, what marketing tactics they've used to help them grow their communities. And then for more established websites, the tips of the week, I think will probably be the most helpful there.
Awesome. Thanks. And we'll keep you guys all posted in the Facebook group and any email newsletters that we send out once those are ready to view. Thanks, David. All right. So some more lab updates. We have a new setting to hide banner ads on specific web pages. Prior to this, you kind of had to do a little bit of funky CSS code to hide a specific banner ad on a specific web page. Let me show you guys how that works real quick. So let's dive into the admin area. So first, let's go to our design settings, and I want to make sure that we've enabled banner ads to be displayed throughout the website. Go to design settings, banner ad design, and it's set to yes. Now we're just using some Google AdSense code. You could obviously upload your own banner ads here and have them displayed throughout your site. So let's go to the front of the site real quick. And let me log out of this sample member. So here's a great example. We're on the login page. The login page is probably a page I think Google AdSense recommends not having ads on pages such as your login page because there's really no relevant content on this. I know that I've seen not an error message, but kind of like a notification with a recommendation to remove the ads from this page because it's just wasting the ad rendering. So the way this setting works is pretty simple. If we go, let's say we want to hide it from our login page. I'll just start from the main dashboard area here. If you go to Content and Edit Web Pages, these are all your static web pages here, like your pricing page. Let's click on the login page. And what I really love about the options on this page is you have the display settings. And besides the various options here, you have the display options. And here's the new one right here, hide banner ads. So I'll go ahead and tick this box, save my changes. Okay, and let's go back to the login page and refresh the page. Okay, great. So now the banner ads are not showing on this page. Another example is potentially if you create a landing page, such as this, we've disabled the banner ads on this page. As you can see, there's nothing at the top or the bottom. But just the same, if I wanted to enable them, let me go ahead and click on Edit Static Page. If I did want to add them back, I can go to my display settings and I can uncheck the hide banner ads. And save my changes. And if I refresh the page, we should see a banner ad here. Now we can see how this kind of looks annoying on a landing page. If you have a banner ad here, you may want it. It just depends on what the goals of your website are. But if you're hoping that the website visitor does a specific type of action, but you still want banner ads on your site, this will give you a little more throttling control over when and where banner ads display on your site. Maybe someone wants to raise their hand. Are you using banner ads on your site where this feature might come in handy? Let's see here. I saw Vincent had his hand up for a second. Vincent, I'm going to unmute your mic. How you doing, Vincent?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yep. How's it going over there?
Hey, good. I'm trying to run an ad that will not trip up the ad blocker. So why, if I have this particular ad links to an internal page, so why would the ad blocker be blocking this? It shouldn't be blocking a picture, and it shouldn't be blocking an internal page.
Do you
know anything about that?
That's a good question. To my knowledge, ad blockers detect like if it's a Google AdSense or some kind of a automated ad publisher. There's lots of tools out there that publish ads. You're just rendering an image and a link here. I can see
Actually,
that.
I'm trying to be super careful, but it must be something in the code.
Let's see.
There must be something in the code that is triggering.
Hey, Vincent, some ad blockers actually recognize not only the location on a web page, but the size of the image, also if there's text in the image. So they've gotten real advanced to block not only like just, irrelevant Google ads, but also just standard images on websites that look like they could be ads that then link on to other pages. So that's probably why that's happening.
But I'm thinking it must be the dimensions, or it must be some sort of code, because I have run, this is primarily how I get around the ad blocker. I run an image with a phone number on it with no link or a link to an internal page to bypass the ad blockers. But in this case, the ad blockers are picking it up, and I don't know if I'm wondering if it's the size.
Well, Vincent, your size here, 728 by 90, that's a standard ad size. Right. You might want to try a larger height. I mean, just to play around with it. Maybe do something like, 800 by 125 pixels, and maybe do some A/B testing on your own. David, that's a really good point, and it's probably super valid that they can recognize images that are meant to be dimensions of ads.
Yeah, this happens a lot on like newspaper websites also. In the middle of an article, you'll see a lot of times just a square ad that links to another article on that site. And a lot of ad blockers actually block those ads as well. So I would guess it's probably most likely has to do with the dimensions of the image. So yeah, Jason, I think you had a great idea. Kind of troubleshoot that, play around with the dimensions, and see if it then starts to show up.
Okay, and then how does your the widget that tells you, hey, you're using the ad blocker, please turn it off, how do you make sure that's on?
Let's make sure. Yeah, so there is an add-on with BD. It detects if the user has an ad blocker. There's obviously different companies for ad blockers. It works pretty effectively. It looks like it's not activated on this site, but the settings would be here in your banner ad, and it would allow you to choose if you want to just give them an alert message, if you want to lock them out of the site entirely until they disable their ad blocker. So there's some settings. This is where the settings would be for this, Vincent.
Okay, so just talk to support about why it's not on.
Yeah, I think you should have it enabled on your site. So
okay, so I'll get that fixed. One other last question. I've been doing this for like 19 years, and I used to make so much money on AdWords, and now I hardly make any money on AdWords since AdBlocker came out. What has been your guys' experience?
Dave, you're the digital strategist, and Dave actually uses an ad blocker, I believe, for his browsing. I don't use one. Do you have any insight on that, Dave?
Yeah, I've been using ad blockers basically since they came out. They've gotten so incredibly popular. I think the majority of internet browsers, people browsing the internet, I think the majority actually now use ad blockers. So it is getting more and more difficult to make ad revenue. I mean, you can even look at like big YouTubers who, the large source of income for people who make a living on YouTube is through ads. And a lot of the reason why their revenues have been dropping over the past several years is because more and more people, even though YouTube has a greater audience now, more people are using ad blockers. So those ads aren't being displayed, which means the revenue's not being paid out. So one alternative is to use that AdBlock Detector, which gives you a few options on how you want to ask people to proceed, whether you want them to turn off the ad blocker and lock down your content until they do that, or if you want to alert them, say please turn off the ad blocker, and still show them the content. There's some options in there. Unfortunately, in terms of generating revenue strictly through ads, it's just really gotten more and more difficult recently due to the ad blockers.
One strategy, not to outsmart the ad blockers, Vincent, but one thing you might want to do is, rather than thinking about banner ads, what you could do, and it's just a little extra work, is adding like related articles to potential advertisers, and then in the articles, the favorable articles about the advertisers, and you could put related article links or things like that around your site that aren't necessarily banner ads, but they're just related articles and information based on the content someone is viewing. So it's not necessarily a banner ad someone's going to click on. It's almost like they're going to read more about an article that piques their interest, and that could be the path towards promoting another company or service instead of using a banner ad.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I think banner ads have been around for so long now. Most people, when they're just on a website, even if they don't have an ad blocker installed, most people are just kind of trained now to look past those banner ads because they're just a part of every website. One of the reasons why ads on Amazon, Facebook, the text ads in Google search results, I think one of the reasons why those work so well still is because a lot of the time those ads really blend in well to the surrounding environment. More often than not, most people don't recognize immediately that what they're looking at is an ad. So I think Jason had a good idea there is try to think of some other ways to incorporate ads into your website that look and feel a little bit more organic than just the standard banner ad.
That's right. Thanks, Vincent, for those questions on the banner ads. But you guys have that feature now. Everyone has it. You can hide banner ads on specific pages. I would recommend, if you are having banner ads show on your site, maybe turning them off by default on maybe your pricing page with your membership level options, and also the login page, your contact us page, just some pages where you definitely want people to do actions besides clicking on ads. All right, another small lab update I think is super high value is now you can select the specific languages you'd like if you're using the Google Translate tool on your site, and I'll show you exactly how that works as well. So we have this site here, interior design demo, and I have the Google Translate add-on here, and it comes with basically 98 default languages there. And prior to this update, you're stuck with these languages. Probably as helpful as it is to have all these languages, it's probably more of a nuisance to have to sift through all of them. So what you can do is, if you're using this Translate tool because you know you have traffic from various parts of the world, you could probably look at your Google Analytics and see what your top 3 or 4 or 5 countries are, and just make those languages available in the dropdown. And I'll show you exactly how you can do that. Let's toggle over to the admin area. Okay, great. And let me just show you first where you would enable the Google Translate. You can go to your design settings. By the way, if you don't have a lot of visitors from around the world, I don't recommend putting Google Translate at the top of your site. It's just an extra thing that loads, and it takes up space where you can have more of a helpful link or something like that. But if you do have the Google Translate tool, that's perfectly fine. You would enable it here in your design settings under header design. Show Translate tool, you want to set that to yes, and it'll automatically display in the header area. Now let me show you where you can specify the languages you want to show here as options. For that, you want to go to your advanced settings. Still in the settings area here, you can toggle on over to advanced settings. And a quick way to get to the option in the search filter here, just type in translate. And it's basically a long comma-separated list of all the available languages that Google Translate tool supports. So all the languages are here by default. If you'd like to know what all these codes mean for the languages, there actually is a link here to Google's Translate docs. So you can copy and paste that. And if you're looking for a specific language that you want to show, there's basically a guide here. It shows you what the abbreviations are for the different language codes. So let's just add a few languages here. Let's reduce it down to maybe 3 or 4 languages. So we'll keep DA, whatever that is, DE. We'll keep EN and ES. And let's also keep FR. I know that's French. And we can get rid of everything else. And I'll go ahead and save my changes. You just want to make sure you're keeping it as a comma-separated list. It's nothing fancy. And once you've done doing that, so here's the long list before. Go ahead and refresh the page. And now we just have Danish, French, German, and Spanish. And you can toggle on over. It's much easier to digest this and make decisions. And I'll translate to French. And once we do that, we can always go back to English if we need to. And then you can, of course, close it down here. If you ever wanted to revert back to all the languages, you can actually either leave it blank, or we have the default value here. You can just copy and paste this here, and everything will be back to normal. All right. Here's one that was actually recommended in a webinar Wednesday by Patrick, who's not with us here today. is adding custom text to the member dashboards. I've also seen this in the Facebook group. People want to add custom text or content. So when members log into their dashboard, they have some kind of a custom message that the website owner has ready for that specific membership level. So let me show you exactly where you can set this up and how the logic of this works. All right, the first thing is let's log in as a sample member and let's see what they see when they log into their member dashboard. So we'll just log in as this person here. This is just our test site, log in as member. Okay, great. So it's basically all the normal stuff. I think we have some things disabled here. So let's edit this membership level, interior designer contributor. So here's what's cool. What you want to do is go to the additional settings, and there's a section for member dashboard. So we've chosen to hide some things here. Show QR code, no. Show account details, no. You can hide and show a bunch of stuff. You can basically almost have a blank screen on the member dashboard if you wanted to. But here are the two new settings that we have. The dashboard header custom HTML and the dashboard footer custom HTML. What this allows you to do is you can make a custom widget, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. And you can select one of your custom widgets to display on the dashboard. So you don't have to customize the member dashboard widget. You can just create your own widget with HTML in it, and it could be specific for this membership level. I'm just going to choose and arbitrarily choose one of the custom widgets that we have. I think I'll do the there was a thank you one here. Thank you for downloading. Now, this isn't something I'd put on the dashboard, but I just want to show you for example. So let me save the changes. And now if I refresh the dashboard page, this is the code that's in that custom widget. So obviously this could say anything. It could be frequently asked questions. It could be an offer to upgrade to a higher membership level. But you don't have to customize the main dashboard widget. All you have to do is, and let me show you, is if you go to your toolbox and your widget manager is where you can create little pieces of code and stuff like that. If you create a new widget, you could say, this is text. You could just say dashboard text is the title. This is a message to these members. Welcome to the site. Please do, X, Y, and Z. So I'll go ahead and I'll save this. Okay, perfect. So now I have a new custom widget, and that's actually what becomes available when I'm editing the membership level. So let's go back to that interior design contributor account. These are my membership levels, and I'll edit this level. And under additional settings, dashboard, member dashboard. I'm going to add this as the dashboard footer now. So that one is called dashboard text. Just added it right there. So I have one at the top and one at the footer, and I'll go ahead and save the changes. So the header one shows just under the title line here, under the dashboard title. Then we have the add content. Now if I refresh, here's that extra text that I just added. This is the message to members. Welcome to this site. Please do X, Y, and Z. So you can really add a really customized message per membership level right on the dashboard for them, and really invite the specific members and let them know what they can do with their membership level. A welcome message is nice, steps on what to do next, options to upgrade their account. These are all great things that you can put in the dashboard here to really give it a more customized feel for your website. Let me see, does anyone have any questions about kind of how that works? Feel free to raise your hand.
While we're looking for questions, one of the great things with this new update is you can go into the widget and of course add any custom HTML or CSS to make that message really stand out, add a background, a border, make it kind of look like its own module in the dashboard.
Absolutely. And you can even embed iframe stuff there. You can put a YouTube video there. I think the possibilities are endless with this. And the fact that you can do it for each membership level really gives the website owner a lot of control over what they're going to present to their members.
Yeah, actually going back to Vincent's question about making additional ad revenue, this could be one option. Maybe put a message into a certain membership level's dashboard and say, hey, do you want to be featured on the homepage, or depending on how his website and his vendors are set up, that could be one option. And in that message, you could put a link to pay $20 to be featured for a month or something like that.
That's a great idea. I'm actually going to take a time out here, guys. You just gave me a great idea. So Brilliant Directories uses an affiliate program. Lots of you are affiliates of us, but being a part of this affiliate program, they give us Brilliant Directories opportunities to boost our listings so more affiliates find us. I'm just going to unblock my screen here. So we use Share Sale for our affiliate program. Again, many of you are there. They have a section, a program boost section. And these are ways to boost our program so more people find our Brilliant Directories affiliate program. But Dave, just what you said is, we can put they can put Brilliant Directories in an email placement, a social shout out. But these are great ideas of what you guys can offer your members as well as additional ways for their listings to get exposure. Is this kind of what you had in mind, David?
Yeah, this is actually a fantastic example. This is exactly what I was talking about.
They'll even do $25 diagnostics check just to make sure everything's set up properly with our program. You guys can offer like a profile optimization check. Just make sure that they filled in everything properly. Their listing is complete. Something like this would be great to show on the dashboard. So yeah, great example there.
And you could, you have like learn more buttons or buy program buttons. You could link those, maybe if it's a real complex offer you're offering, you could have a learn more link that just links people to your contact form so they can submit a contact request and say, hey, I'm interested in this promotion you have going on. Can I get more info? And then for other kind of self-explanatory ones, you can have links just directly linking people out to a checkout page to purchase that program or promotion or whatever it is you're trying to push.
That's fantastic. Lots of ways to use that dashboard, that custom code in the dashboard there. And again, it's per membership level. So based on the type of membership level, you can have different messaging there. Good share, Dave. Thanks. All right. I don't see any questions on there yet. It's pretty self-explanatory. So hopefully we can see some examples of that in the next webinars. All right, this is a fun one. We've added some new functionality to the homepage call to action buttons, and I'll just quickly show you guys what that refers to. And just by a show of hands, how many of you, if you want to use the raise your hand feature, how many of you are using these two boxes here on the homepage as one of your streaming widgets? Arlana is using it for her streaming widgets. Jerome is, Greg. Okay, great. It looks like a lot of people are using this. So prior to now, and it was done on purpose. Originally, when we did it, you weren't able to add a button to the right side, and also even for the left side, you weren't able to choose the color of the button that you wanted. Looking at it now, having two buttons here, especially different colors, looks aesthetically pleasing, and you can have two different calls to action. In this example, we pretty much just kind of did something similar, but let me show you guys where you can customize these two buttons. So I'm going to go just start at the dashboard here, and we're going to go to Design Settings. And we'll go to Homepage Layout. Now, for those of you who aren't using those, if you wanted to use those two boxes, you just have to select it as one of your homepage section orders. So it's called the About Website / Join Offer. So you just want to make sure that's selected as one of the homepage sections. I'll go ahead and close this. And what's really nice is at the bottom of this page, here are the inputs for that. So you have your title for each side. You have your text, And these are the new settings here. So you can have the what the link says, where the link goes at the bottom, and then you can choose the button color. So if you just did plain text, it would just be regular text link. But then you can choose primary button color, info, success, warning, danger, or default. There's 6 of them. Now, if you don't know what colors these are going to be, they actually match your theme. So let me take a step back and show you so you know when you're choosing primary or danger or success, what color that's going to be on your site. If you go to the main tab, design settings, it's actually here, your default button colors. I'll toggle this open. Your site has 6 default button color classes. So primary, info, success, warning, danger, and default. So whatever these colors are set here, you can go ahead and select them in the drop down in the other tab, and that's what the color is going to be. So that option is now available for you guys now. So if you want to have 2 big powerful buttons there on your homepage, you can definitely do so. And obviously you can have different calls to action for each button as well. All right, sounds good. So those are just a few of the BD Lab updates. I checked in with the development team. We have a slew of updates coming up in the next few weeks, some small stuff, some really big stuff. So hopefully we'll have a lot to report to you in the next webinar. All right, and we have an awesome segment, Rick's Corner here, simple solutions for common questions. And Rick, you wanted to cover a topic that comes up a lot in the support center, understanding the different settings that are available to configure for the lead form. Is that right?
Yeah, that is correct, Jason. So this is one of those topics that it's very comes up very often, and it's due to the nature, right? The leads are a very powerful element within a directory website. So more and more people are really interested in learning how that works. And a very cool thing about this section of the platform is that it's controlled mainly through settings. So that's one of the things that we're going to go over today.
Awesome. So yeah, I'll pass over the controls to you, and I guess we can start with what the lead form is and then the available settings for it.
Okay, perfect. So basically, like Jason was saying, we're going to talk about leads. And just to give you a brief explanation of leads, well, those are messages that are being sent to the member of a directory website, right? This the platform by default has this functionality included. So let me show you real quick here what I'm talking about. So let's say that you get to this website, you're looking for an interior designer. So we're going to click here, search for that interior designer. Now, when we get to the search results page, we have this option here called Contact Now. So let me just go ahead and click on that, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so this is the form, right? This is the form that will basically act as the intermediary between the person that's sending the message and the person that's receiving that message. Now, the reason why we talk about this specific form quite a bit is because people don't really know how to modify or change or add fields to this specific form. So one really cool thing about it, as I was saying before, is the fact that you can control this through settings. Now, those settings, let me go ahead and jump to the back end here. So I'm on the dashboard of the website. I'm simply going to navigate to leads and lead settings. So here inside the lead settings, what we're going to have is a series of options that allow us to control not only the display, but also the functionality of that specific form that we just saw. So let's go ahead and start from the top, and we're going to go over these settings real quick here. So maximum acceptance basically makes reference to the amount of people that will also receive a copy of that message, all right, or that referral. So basically, you have the ability to control if and the amount of people that are going to receive that additional that specific lead. Now you control whether or not a lead is it's going to be sent to additional people with this setting that we see down here. Enable get replies from more members. So this will enable. Let's go ahead and switch this to yes. Again, just clicking on yes, saving the changes. Basically, what this does is that it activates another field inside the form that tells the system, all right, this specific message can be used to match with some other member of the website. Now let's go ahead and keep going down here. I'm going to jump to the form in just a bit, just to show you the different things that we're going to turn on and off. This one, the hide field labels, has become very sought after, to be honest. So hide the field labels. Let's go ahead and switch that to no, which means that it's going to display the hide the field labels. So let me go ahead and save that. Now when I'm saving this, one other thing that it's always very important to keep in mind is that you have to wait a few seconds just to go and check on the updates that you have completed. That may vary depending on your own local settings. So just play it safe, give it a couple of seconds, and then go back and refresh. So let's go ahead and refresh the form here and check out the updates that we have done so far. So here we can see like the name, email, those are the field names, and those are the ones that we turned on, right, with that setting. And this is the other field that we turn on, which is get replies from more members. So you're sending this a specific message to Summer Thornton or in this example, but if you want to receive more messages or receive additional messages from other members, you can go ahead and choose that here at the bottom. So a lot of people really like to hide the field label just because it makes it easier to display on, like, say, a mobile device. It looks cleaner. So that's also why a lot of people are really interested in that setting.
I like that. If you want to just talk about that just for another second, we can see that having the labels there takes up more space on the page, and sometimes it could be redundant where it says name, enter name, email, enter email. But actually, if you're maybe those aren't, it's not just saying name, it's asking them a question like, what is your name? Or something like, what's your best phone number? Where it's a little bit more elaborate, then it makes sense to maybe have the field labels. But in my opinion, I like to hide the labels if they're just it's redundant, because it makes the form a little bit more compact and it saves space on the page, especially on mobile devices.
Exactly. Yeah, it looks cleaner. And in mobile devices, since of course the screen is smaller, then all the space that you can save, it's better, right? The better. All right. Let's go ahead and keep going down here, because these ones are very very cool, to be honest. Here we have display location fields. So if you want to use that as part of this form, then you have a few options underneath that. So you have making those fields required. You have the ability to turn that on here. And here underneath that, what you have is the display options for the map. So you can go ahead and choose the map and the search input. So let's go ahead and choose that one. Let's go ahead and switch this to yes. All right. And let me save the settings here real quick so we can go ahead and check on those updates real quick. So it's just taking a while to save. All right, let's go back here. A couple of seconds, and let's go ahead and refresh. So basically just turning on the location and the location fields. As you can see, well, it includes the field for you to type in the address, and it also includes the map, right? So it also gives you that functionality because that's the one that we chose. But if we want to switch that a little, we can, and then we have the option of only displaying the map or only the input. So with the intent of saving space, I would go with the only input, right? You want to hide the map if that's something that you want to take into account. All right, right underneath that we have the categories field. If whether or not you want to display the categories, whether or not you want to make the category fields required. That's also another setting that you control right here. Right underneath that we have this has been added recently. Display the preferred reply day and the reply time. So if you want to go ahead and switch those on, actually they're on right now, but if you want to turn them off, again, you have the ability to do so right here.
Let's turn those off and turn the categories on.
All right.
Modify this form.
display the categories field. Yes, awesome. And then here we have an option for those categories, Jason. So do you want to use the top and the sub level? Do you want to use the top and the sub sub? You have a specific combination that you want to use?
I think top and sub is good, so you can see.
All right, perfect. Top and sub level categories. All right, let's go ahead and save this.
Now again, choosing if you want to show categories or what the visitor is going to select really depends on how your category structure on your site is set up. Keep in mind that the location and the category fields are the identifiers that the system uses when it wants to match leads with other members besides the member that you're contacting directly. So in the way the system knows to match this lead with other members in your database is if the location field matches and or one of the category hits as a match. So when you add those fields, you're basically helping the system provide better matches for a lead with members who probably provide a related service.
Yep, correct. So yeah, like you just said, it really depends on your own structure and what would make sense to you, right? So you don't need, again, you don't want to make it redundant. You don't want to have extra information that's not needed. So this is what we had. We had preferred reply day and reply time. So let's go ahead and refresh this real quick. All right, so those fields are gone. And then if we scroll down the form, we have the top category and we have the subcategory right here for us to choose. So it's super useful, super useful. There was a time when this wasn't a setting. It was a lot tougher than what it is right now to modify. So great, the settings are all basically turned on with regards to the category. So that's what we have here. And then underneath that, with the form, you have a regular field for the user to type in the message that they want to get across. So basically, that's all of the settings that we have here for the general lead setting. So that means that this is the general overview of the different functionality that you have available. Let's go ahead and jump real quick here to receiving direct leads and what these settings will basically control. So again, we're talking about the messages that get sent directly to the user or the member of your website. So basically what we have here are the different options and the different statuses that you can go ahead and choose those messages to come through as. So we have the type of lead. We can go ahead and count that as either pending or accepted right away as soon as it shows up on the member's dashboard. We have the way that your members are going to be notified when one of these messages is sent. So you can go ahead and notify them by sending them a preview of the message or sending the member of the website the complete message. A few more options that you have here. You have the preview email template. So in case you want to go with that way of notifying the member, you can go ahead and choose the email template. So if you haven't updated that, then you can just leave it as this. Or if you've modified that specific template, you can then just go ahead and leave it as is. Or if you have created a new template, you can choose it from the dropdown. And if you go with the other option, which is the complete message, then again, you have just a simple dropdown, same functionality that we have here for you to choose the type of message or the email template that you're going to use. And right underneath that, what we have is the ability for you to copy the admin. So if you want to be you as the owner of the website want to be notified when one of these messages comes through. Super useful as well.
That's fantastic. Can you scroll up for just a second there? Yeah. I just want to touch on, so receiving direct leads, that's when a member gets a message directly from their profile page. So if you want that message to, in that moment, get sent to the member so they get a notification, you definitely want to set this to yes. If you as the website owner want to moderate all messages before the member sees them, you want to set this to no, and then periodically you want to log into your admin and then manually match that message with the member. Maybe you're doing some moderation to make sure of the authenticity of that lead. And then the count message as pending or complete, if you want to toggle that open, is if the message is going to go directly to the member. Pending means they need to manually accept it or pay for the lead. Accepted means that they don't need to pay for it. It's already going to be, all the information is going to be available for them there. But Rick, thank you so much. What's in the additional notifications tab there?
All right, that's a great question, Jason. Let's go ahead and jump to the additional notifications here. So what we have here is email the admin when the lead is submitted. Again, giving you more control of what happens when the lead is sent. And then here you have the option to choose what email template to use.
Awesome. And there's one more tab there for the visitor.
Correct. So this is going to be for the admin of the website. This is what happens with the user of the website, right? So keep in mind that in this equation, there's like three factors. There's the user of the website, the member of the website, and the admin of the website.
Right.
So, right, the email. And then what we have here is just very straightforward, super straightforward. I have to give a shout out to those settings in the way that they're self-explanatory. So it's just the email visitor. After the lead is submitted, you have the option to send them a message, right? So after they send the lead or the message to the user of the website, if you want to notify them, again, adding validity or just simply
Like
making the confirmation. Yeah, exactly. So then you have the option to choose the email template, whether or not you want to copy again the admin on this email, the one that's sent out to the user, and then the variable that you want to use for that specific template.
Fantastic. I know you just covered a lot. If anyone has questions on these settings right now, please feel free to raise your hand.
Hey, Jason, Peter actually asked a good question. He said he wanted to know if there was any way to prevent website visitors from entering their phone number, their email address directly into that comment section of the lead submission form, because if they do, then there's really no need for the members to purchase the leads if they have their contact information already right there.
So that's a question we actually hear a lot, and I've seen some websites go through some extreme lengths to prevent someone from typing their phone number or email address. You could do a small customization where you restrict numbers or the @ sign from being written in the message, but people can put spaces in between them. They can write out the numbers, like my phone number is 1, 2, et cetera, et cetera. If people are gaming your system like that, they find value in it. I wouldn't worry too much. It's probably just few and far between. But if it's really important to you, you can kind of work with a developer to restrict certain letters or phrases from being inputted into that. But it's going to get complicated because if someone's typing in their phone number and they use, and you're not going to allow someone to type the number 1, like ONE. And if the person's going to write, I have one question for you, and then you're going to block that message. So you're probably going to get a lot of false positives if you start restricting the numbers and things like that, and phrases like that are just common numbers.
Or one option, right, would be if the website isn't getting too many leads, where it's not impossible for the website admin to moderate them manually.
Yeah.
That's one option.
Yeah, you can moderate, and as with moderating the messages, Rick, I'm just going to pass the controls over to myself real quick. Let me show you guys how you could edit a lead before it goes out to a member. So if you go to your leads, and let's go to manage leads. Okay, great. So we're looking at a lead. You can actually edit a lead. And so this is kind of an extrapolation of what the lead form is on the front end of the site. And in this case, you can edit the message and remove any parts of the message you want. Some people who moderate leads actually call the lead, verify the phone number, the email, and actually gain more information that the lead is looking for from the professional, and they'll add it either into the message or as internal notes for the lead, which you could write here, internal note to the member. You can write, we spoke with this person. They want to get started soon. And that will be attached to the lead when the member is looking at it. So yeah, definitely to answer that question, you can go ahead and moderate the leads and edit out any sensitive information that would be part of the regular message that's going to encourage the member to purchase the lead. Okay, I think we're good on the lead settings there. All right, Rick. Well, Rick, thank you so much for going over that, and let's dive back to the questions here. Okay, great. Let's do some Q&A time on your sites. Go ahead and raise your hand there. Lisa, I'll unmute you, and then we'll get back to you, Ams. So Lisa, back to you. How you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for doing these as usual. I wrote in the question and I got a link back, but I wondered if you could share a little bit about the claim listing add-on and, kind of just give us a quick overview. What's the best way to try to utilize that, and how do you acquire the list easily to be able to import other than searching Google and typing everything into an Excel spreadsheet? Is there any automated ways in which I could grab some in a specific category?
Gotcha. Okay. So let me just step back and let's show everyone what you're referring to. So there is an add-on where you can import members to your site, like business listings, and if they stumble upon their listing, they can go ahead and claim the listing. And here's the add-on here. I'll go ahead and send this in the chat so everyone can have it. All right, I sent that in the chat.
Okay, so we have a magazine in our online community. You've probably looked at our site before because I've been on here many times, but it's epictribe.org. Okay. And so we have a physical magazine, but this is the online component to kind of connect all of those communities. And so at each time we get a publisher, in that local area, they start adding people to this directory. But it's not always super successful because it takes them a long time to do it. And then there doesn't seem like there's a lot of people in that particular location. So I'm kind of using it strategically in the sense that, okay, Carlsbad, just came on board. And so can they somehow give me a list? I import them, and then they send out to their email list of all the people they're trying to get in the print magazine, hey, go grab your free online listing on the Epic Tribe, or you can get a paid listing as well. So it's not like random, it's more strategic, but I'm not sure if that's a good approach or not.
I think that's a fantastic approach, actually. So what you can do is there's an import template file. So these larger organizations or people who are managing these regions, it sounds like you're already in talks with them, like the Carlsbad example. You can provide them with instructions on how they should provide you with an import file, the template file, and then you can go ahead and import them to the site. And then obviously you can tell them that you found them as important in this industry, and you've added them to the site and come claim their listing. So I think that's very deliberate, and I think that's a good model for the claim listing, actually.
Okay, and then which specific fields do you need as a minimum so that their free listing is almost populated, and then they can determine if they want to?
Perfect. So let me show you. I'm gonna share a link here with you. Let me just go to the documentation. I'm gonna type in import here. Here, how to import members via CSV. There's a few articles here, tips and tricks, but this should be the one here. Okay, and here are links to example of completed. Probably the simple basic import is the one that you want here. Yeah, there's one with all the fields and then the simple basic import file. Let's open that together. It's probably going to be like name and so on. Okay, great. So listing type would either be a company or a person, their name, their email, their company name if you want to use that, phone number, address fields, city, zip, state, country. Profession is their top level category, and services would be a comma separated list of subcategories. Now, if you have more information than this, then maybe you want to look at the import file that has all the available columns, and you can add in the ones that you want. There's not a problem having like a column heading and it's empty. So don't worry about that. It'll just import the data that's available for each member.
Okay. And one quick follow-up to this, I've had the coupon codes for a long time, and they work great if they're just something they're signing up originally. So for the claim listing, if somebody grabs their free one, but I also then send them a coupon code, is that working now where they can upgrade from the free listing, use the coupon code, or we still have to take them off the free listing?
No, that's good. Yeah, that was about a year and a half ago. Oh no, coupon codes work on upgrade pages now. So you can give your free members a coupon code, and they can upgrade with a discount or promotion.
Okay, perfect.
Cool. Any other questions about that?
No, and it's like the add-on is per month. So if I try it and for whatever reason people aren't successfully claiming them or what have you, once I decide I don't want to use it any longer, then the claims that were on there just kind of disappear, or?
No, they'll get switched to. So there's 3 account types. There's a free account, paid account, and then when you have this, it's a claim listing account. So they'll get switched. That membership level will become a free membership level, and you have options here. Let me just show you real quick in your manage products section. So here's like a free account. They'll just get switched to free accounts, and then you can decide what you want to do. If you want to move them, you can move the members to another membership level and get rid of the claim listing membership level. So there's options to move or migrate or delete those members if whatever you want to do. But just because you lose the claim listing feature, those members aren't going to be removed from the site. It's just going to be downgraded to a free account.
Okay. Since you're in there, is there a way to show me that coupon code upgrade if somebody is free and what they get to put that on?
Let's see here. Let's do this real quick. I mean, it's going to be the same as the checkout page. So let's just log in here. As long as there's an upgrade option for this membership level here, upgrade account. And there's only one upgrade option. So if we go to the checkout page here, it says have a promo code, and you can enter it here.
Okay.
Super slick here.
Well, I've been waiting for that for a long time, and I haven't been on one of these in a while, so I'm happy that has successfully worked.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining, Lisa.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go back to AMS here. AMS, I'm going to unmute your microphone real quick. All right. How you doing there, buddy?
I'm good. Thank you.
All right. Let me go back to your site real quick. What language is this in?
French.
Okay. Very good. And what is this directory of?
It's a classifieds, like generalist cross-classified ads website.
Is it for a specific location, or what's the niche exactly? Is this a location?
It's just for a specific location for a country in West Africa.
Okay.
And basically, the idea was to do something like quite big, but after I realized that it was harder, so I sort of downgrade it a little bit and just limit what is.
All right. And this is a relatively new site you've started. I'm assuming it's a new project for you.
It's been running, I think, fully, I would say 6 months now.
6 months. Okay. I like what you did with the menu here. Okay. My recommendation, what's your biggest hurdle? Is it getting people to post?
That's one thing, getting people to post. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. This is what I would do. I went to this is my, I can't really read the site. I get what's on it, but my recommendation would be this. Forget about monetizing the site today.
Okay.
What I would recommend is getting rid of the membership levels and having this button go to post a classified now.
Okay.
And take them to the free sign up page directly. So take them to checkout 7.
Okay.
Directly. I see you've kind of modified this form here a bit, which is fine. Just get them to register an account and then post a classified. The second thing I would do, let me log in as this membership level. So let me go to manage products, and it's number 7, right? So let's see, number 7. Oops, gotta go this way. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's your 7. So Anosis is classifieds?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Edit the membership level. And there is an option here, redirect page after login. Okay. Take them, find out what the link is, log in as a member, and go to add a classified. And then send them to account, classifieds, or whatever you're using, and it should be add. So after they log in, it takes them directly to the page where they're going to add a classified every time. Basically, switch the focus of your site to minimize all the hurdles and just get people to post classifieds as quickly as they can. And your goal right now should be getting user engagement. And later you could figure out how you want to monetize this. But at least if you have the user engagement, your site will at least be gaining some popularity. And that would be my just a quick recommendation for a site like this.
Yeah. Makes sense. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I mean, the other thing as well, I do have like a couple of competitors there. I mean, they're quite massive, really, to be honest, and some of them have been on there for a very, very long time. So the question is like, how can I differentiate myself from what's already existing in the market?
Okay. Well, is Facebook big in your country or your area?
Yes, it is. Massive,
okay.
Yeah.
Facebook has classifieds, right?
So, yeah.
All right. I don't know if you want to take the extra effort, but maybe when you're starting out, maybe take the time to also post some of your members' posts onto the Facebook classifieds as well, or onto your Facebook page. So not only they're listed on your website, but you're going to give them a shout out to sell these fly shoes right here, these Nike Air Jordans. And lastly, you need a slogan or some kind of a catchphrase. Like what does this mean? Poster vos anosis.
Publish your classified for free.
Okay, so that's what they can do. What I'd like to see under your logo is something like the fastest way to sell your products or get rid of your products.
Okay.
So this is what they can do, but your website needs to have something special. Give it a little pizzazz, and you could. And this says instead of post a classified, maybe say like sell my stuff now. Make it a little more casual rather than so like stuffy, like, oh, post a classified. Give it a little bit of a voice and an attitude. You know who does it really good is that new Let Go website. It's like get rid of your stuff. Let's see what I've never been to this site. I've just seen their commercials on TV.
Okay.
Sell things you don't use and find great deals. So that's buy and sell secondhand. That's what you can do. And then this is like the slogan: sell things you don't use and find great deals. Yeah, I would just make your site super easy to post. Here, it says sell your stuff. It doesn't say post the classified, you know?
Okay.
All right, Ams. Well, good luck with the site. Join us in the other webinars. I'd like to see your progress on it.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll do. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, good stuff there for a classified site. Yeah, in that case, you just want to kind of make it easy for people rather than selecting a membership level and things like that. It's really not the nature of a classified site. All right, Martin, I see you got your hand up here. Martin, go ahead and unmute your microphone. How you doing, Martin?
Okay, can you hear me?
We got you loud and clear. How's it going today? How'd you like the webinar so far?
It's going pretty good. A little cold here, 0 degrees with a blizzard, but you know, in the house. So
okay.
I asked this question a while back, and I was looking at the replays. I really couldn't find my answer. I'm sure some other people have the same question, and you know, it might be kind of intimidating. What's your best way to get going on everything?
The best advice I have, and I think we mentioned in the webinars, is try to keep things simple.
Okay.
And you know, I've seen people build out these elaborate main menus and footer links and trying to add so much content to their site. And Patrick was on the previous webinar too, and we always say find one problem that you want to solve and focus on that one problem. You know, don't worry about you know, a lot of the sites are local directory sites, and they try to do properties, coupons, events, jobs, all the features that are available with Brilliant Directories.
Right.
Start with just a couple, but then also your website needs a voice. Someone posted in the Facebook group, "What do you think of my what do you think of my site?" And the title of his site is Local Business Directory. And I mean that there's no benefit there for someone to want to use that in most cases. You need to give people a motivated reason to use your site, why your site is different, what your mission is, what you're seeking out to do. And when people when you keep your site simple and you have a mission that people can get behind, they're going to want to sign up. They're going to want to find out how they can participate. They're going to find out how they can engage with your site, join your site, and more. So my recommendation is always keep things simple and have a mission that you stand for, and really repeat that mission over and over in the different areas of your site with how you word things, and even in your slogan and things like that.
And I think you mentioned before there's a quick start, some type of video or something you can watch, or
yeah, there's a couple videos I would recommend watching actually. Let me see. I'm going to share a link in the footer here. All right, so this is a video on how to set up your site in 15 minutes, and it really just is how to set up a basic site. But that's my point about being simple, is you shouldn't overcomplicate the site when you're just starting out. Keep in mind, all those features that are available with Brilliant Directories, like publishing features like coupons and events and whatever, you can release those in 6 months from now and make a big announcement to your members like, hey, now you can post your events. After you've already got everyone used to posting coupons, now they can post events. It looks like there's a big development happening at the company when all you did was unlock a Brilliant Directories feature. And I'd say just go to our blog at this point, the Brilliant Directories blog, and try to, I know they take up a lot of time. I know I talk a lot on the webinars, but there's some really good value in these webinars. And after David publishes the individual tips of the week, I think just going through these webinars and watching the tips of the week, you'll get a lot of value on how to kind of cut through some of the noise and really find a path to your website success, your community success.
Okay. And in my particular case, I'm marketing to orthopedic surgeons in my directory. How would you price something out where, say, you're approaching somebody and they have 10 orthopedic surgeons in a group or something? How would you go about that as opposed to like marketing to one orthopedic surgeon?
Okay, so so I'm assuming you're getting orthopedic surgeons signed up, right?
Yeah, because I have orthopedicsurgeonstoday.com.
Okay, so you're working in an affluent industry. It's medical. What you can do is you can have a plan for individual practitioners, or you can have a plan for an entire practice. And what you can do with the practice is you can use our multi-member manager add-on, and that when someone signs up to that higher membership level, it'll let them manage and create profiles for the different orthopedic surgeons that work at that practice. So let me just go here. So here's the multi-member manager, and basically what this does is you can assign this to one of your membership levels. So that would be the practice membership level with multiple doctors there, and they would be allowed to create not only their headquarters, but profiles for each of their orthopedic surgeons from one master account. So they're obviously their entire firm is going to get a lot more exposure because they're creating individual profiles for each of their orthopedic surgeons. So maybe that plan is maybe 3 to 5 times more expensive than the individual practitioner.
So I wouldn't charge per individual doctor. I would just have 2 plans, one a simpler plan and one a multi-member plan, where if they have 50 or 100, it's still the same price, but it's escalated over the first plan though.
Exactly. That's a good way to do it. That way you can get the individual people signed up without any problems as well.
And what about say in the future I come across a better domain name or something? How does that work with your directory service?
Man, switching domain names. Okay, switching domain names and to another platform is really tough. If you're going to stick with BD, it's not as tough. I'm going to go to Google Search Console real quick.
Well, I would keep your software and everything, but like I said, I might say I come across something shorter or something better that I like in the future. I haven't yet, but you never know.
Right. So the only thing you want to be worried about is you don't want to lose traffic that your site
your links and stuff. Right.
Exactly. If you're just switching your domains with BD, it's actually not that bad because all the URL structure is staying the same. They just created an option here. Let me find it. Settings. I don't know if I'm going to find it just real quick. They let you can actually report to Google that you're changing your domain name.
Oh, cool.
And
all the links carry over then.
All the links carry over. Theoretically, you shouldn't lose any traffic because you're doing all the best practices to let Google know that you're just changing your domain name. And then also what you can do is in your old domain name, you want to set up just like a blanket 301 redirect. So if anyone goes to one of those old URLs, it'll go to the new respective URL to the page they're trying to access on the new domain.
Okay.
I'm just very emotional about this is because I've seen people change domains or switch platforms and they kind of lose all their traffic, but they didn't take the steps to inform Google about the change, and then everyone gets mad at everyone that this happened. But you should definitely take the steps before making the official switch to make sure everything is forwarding correctly.
Yeah, for now I'm happy with what I have, but I don't know what the future holds. So, and what's your company policy on that? You're just allowed one domain name, whatever you want, or the one you start out with, or what's your company policy on that?
You can change your domain name whenever you want. You can go to your settings and your domain manager, and it'll update the domain of your site. It's one domain name per website that you can manage with BD, but you can change it. You can change it.
And then I just have to go with the registrar and change over servers then, right? Basically.
Exactly. You probably want to do that first, and then you come here last and update the domain name.
Great.
And then keep in mind, anytime you connect a new domain name, it could be instant, but it could take 24 to 48 hours for it to propagate.
Yeah.
So maybe you want to do that like on the weekend or at a time you're not getting too much traffic and things like that.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks for your questions, Martin.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. I think we're going to leave it there. That was an amazing webinar Wednesday. Thank you guys for joining. If we didn't get to your questions, please join us in the Facebook group. Let me just backtrack on some of these slides here. So you can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook and we can carry the discussion there. The next webinar will be in 2 weeks. And then I also wanted to remind you, if you guys are interested in joining Patrick's masterclass, you can go to directorygurus.com and pre-register. And as soon as they have updates on dates and speakers, you'll get notified. It's supposed to be a really great class. They're actually going to do fireside chats with Brilliant Directories website owners that have earned 7 figures. They're going to take you behind the curtains and show you the secret sauce. So it should be a really good event there. And on behalf of myself, Rick, and David, thank you guys so much. It's been great to join you here today, and we'll catch you in 2 weeks in the next webinar Wednesday. Make it a great day, guys.